now.
Monday, January 9th, welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Remember, First Alert Weather Extra, you can find us weekdays at 6:30 on our streaming platforms on Apple TV, Roku, and if you have the WBRC streaming app, just download. You can find us also on the First Alert Weather app. All right, the big weather story this week is going to be another risk for some stormy weather rolling in on Thursday. We're going to be watching that day in particular. In the meantime, we got some cold and dry conditions tonight. Once again, we get close to freezing areas to the northeast and east of Birmingham. In those colder locations, a good chance we could see a little bit of patchy frost and even the chance for some fog tonight. I'm more concerned along the rivers, the lakes, and some of those valleys there for some fog development in the morning. So cold, foggy, frosty start early in the day. The rest of tomorrow looks pretty good. Thursday is the day to watch for the risk of storms. We've had a lot of clouds moving in, and coming up here on Extra, one thing I'm going to show you is some of the, we've gotten so many photos today, just a beautiful evening glow out there because of the clouds. What happens, that scatters the light in the atmosphere, and anytime you know it's sunset time, as a light has to travel further distance through the atmosphere, you get clouds, anything that kind of scatters that light, it brings out some of those different colors of the spectrum, and that's one of the reasons why it looks so vivid and so colorful out there this evening. A red sky at night, but the weather will certainly be delightful for tomorrow. Just a cold start early on, but it's all clouds, no rain showing up. This is the satellite image. And this is actually what we call an enhanced satellite image, so it really helps us kind of define where the thicker clouds are located with respect to the thinner clouds. And you can see right now over at least the central areas, rather cloudy, but no rain at the moment. When does that change? Well, that changes on Thursday. Notice the Storm Prediction Center already kind of watching this zone to the south and east. Kind of interesting here. Many times, you know, we're always talking about west and north, but it looks like the way this may time out. Again, this is only Monday, so check in for updates the next couple days. But this looks like it's going to be a daytime setup, and the way it comes in, we may see those storms really not catch another gear until during the day as we start to heat up. We get some instability out there, so this may come in early in the day, maybe not quite as intense, and then pick up strength as it moves on through during the day. I'm really concerned about some gusty winds out of this, but one or two tornadoes certainly can't be ruled out. This is not a major outbreak sort of setup from what I see at this time, but it's certainly a system that can bring some windy conditions out there as this pushes on through. And again, we'll have to watch out for the tornado threat. There is a little bit of directional wind shear just looking at the setup in the atmosphere. Right now, I know I have 9 a.m. A lot of the data was showing maybe around 10, 11 o'clock, that threat gradually ramping up by lunchtime and really peaking out during the afternoon. And there's a chance we'll probably get most of this out of here by 7, 8 o'clock Thursday night. So the one good thing here is this won't be an overnight kind of setup. And I'll be showing you some of the model data coming up. Right now, here's a look at that forecast for this evening. In the meantime, very calm, very stable, very cold tonight as the temperature tumbles. You can see by 7 o'clock, 46, light north wind. Again, that's going to contribute to where we have some of that fog development early in the day. There's 42 around 9 o'clock, and again, we start out there 6 a.m. You can see 35 degrees there with some foggy conditions, wind south-southeast early in the day. We'll warm up into the 60s for tomorrow afternoon as we look live there. That is the view from Brookwood Medical Center there off of Lakeshore Parkway and our First Alert Sky Vision, but a quiet night expected for us, and that will all be changing. Coming right up, I'll be showing you that 7-day forecast. We'll walk you through that as we continue right here on First Alert Weather Extra.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your First Alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert.
First First Alert, we are tracking
In times like this,
We now have a tornado warning that's active.
having a way to see and hear what's happening on your phone,
The most intense part of this storm right now is tracking towards Shelby County.
that means everything.
Okay, you need to get in your safe place now. Stay there. We will let you know when this warning expires. Stay with us.
Download the First Alert Weather app today. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Mornings, they're yours. Where you start fresh, get your body moving, and tackle a new day. Our mornings are for you. Janice, Mike, Mickey, and Toy, starting early and staying with you all morning long. With more voices speaking to you where you are and getting to the point with more First Alert weather and traffic from the source you trust. Always on your side. This is Good Day, Alabama.
Welcome back into Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. A lot of clouds moving in tonight, but we do not expect rain. You know, there was a time last week when we thought we might see a few scattered showers out of this, but it looks like the dry air is going to win out. But the clouds rather thick. Jefferson County, Shelby County covered up around Tuscaloosa. At this time, this may slow that cooling process just a bit, but the clouds are going to move on by. The sky clears later tonight. Down that temperature goes, and a good chance in the morning again we'll wake up close to 34 on average. Areas to the north and to the east, I think these areas back towards Gadsden, Anniston, especially here you get into Cherokee County, a greater chance that we're going to get close to freezing early tomorrow morning, some frost, and maybe even around the lakes there. Watch out for a little bit of fog again early in the day. Afternoon up to 61 degrees Wednesday, 67. You can see there we have just a small chance of a shower Wednesday. That's mostly overnight. The day looks nice and milder with those temperatures in the 60s. May grow a bit breezy as that Gulf moisture starts to work its way north again. And then we're going to be watching Thursday. Let's talk about tomorrow's forecast. And as I showed you, we'll start out there in the 30s early on, but it is going to be a mostly sunny day. So I think these clouds will thin on out, but the clouds do come back. It looks like by the time we get to Wednesday, although we stay dry during the day, it may become quite cloudy by midday. All right, let's look at Thursday, this threat for storms, and we're looking at a cold front and some of the energy off that big system, that mid-latitude cyclone that made its way onto the Pacific coast. We've been showing you that system that deepened rapidly there. That you've heard the term bomb cyclone applied to it, but typically that term, often it's misused. It just means a system that's rapidly strengthening. It's not a bomb or anything like that. It's a system that's deepening, and sometimes in meteorology talk, many times when we forecast, when we see a rapidly strengthening system like this, many times we say it's bombing out, it's strengthening, and that's what happened with this thing. We saw those pressure levels really drop off, and that correlates with the strong wind gusts. Now that system won't be quite as potent as it moves further east, but some of the energy off of that, if you kind of follow the jet stream winds, you can see that's going to be traversing across the country and really helping to bring a lot of rain and storm activity with this system on Thursday, and that's what we're looking at here. We're going to have a front that moves in. This is from the European model, the deterministic data. This is showing 7 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, and you can see that moving in across west Alabama, and then there's a chance as this makes its way on through during the day, it could pick up strength. And surprisingly actually, the deterministic data being over 3 days out, the long-range models are actually in very good agreement on this. It looks like a daytime scenario. That's showing 11 o'clock in the morning. Heavy rain around Demopolis, Utah, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, perhaps some strong storms in here. Really need to watch out these areas to the south in here. You see that line also extends down into South Alabama, but that's what we're looking at there. That's Thursday, and then you can see that moves on through. Let's see, the Talladega, it looks like they're around 1 o'clock. Again, that's the forecast timing there for the 12th, and looks like by that point we'll start to see this tapering off, perhaps across west Alabama, and then that rain moves on through. And by 2 o'clock, I mean, this model in particular showing drier weather for us here across west Alabama, and it looks like that rain you can see still with us, and that risk for strong to severe storms into the afternoon, especially east of 65. So the severe risk by late afternoon may mostly be east of Birmingham and mostly applying to places from Gadsden to Anniston and down in towards Alexander City. After that, that. Overnight, we clear out. You can see a big drop in temperatures by Friday morning, 37 degrees. Looks like up to 48. That's it for Friday. So much colder there going into the weekend. That's why we have that first alert for break out the heavy jacket. I know it's going to be cold tonight, but even cooler there, especially during the days. Those overnight temperatures you can see down to 29 early on Saturday. The good news is weekend looks dry at this point for Saturday and Sunday. Lots of sunshine. That should help out with those comfort levels. In the next week, we're back up to 62 degrees, and we could see some more rain and storms as we get closer to the 18th and 19th time frame. So I'm going to be showing you beyond the 7-day forecast here coming up. And check this out, lovely weather photos. This is one of so many that we've gotten today on the First Alert Weather app, and I just want to thank you for sharing these. Fred Turnipseed sharing this one from Alabaster, but again, I mentioned the clouds, how that kind of scatters the light. We get that lovely glow out there. This is just one of many. In fact, let's check in on some more of those weather app photos coming up after the break as we continue right here on First Alert Weather Extra.
January is Bath Safety Month, and I'm on site to see how West Shore Home is providing homeowners with safe and accessible bathing solutions. Today, we're going to do 2 installations in just one day. So let's go upstairs and check it out. So you can see this tub is really hard to step in. That increases your chances of falling. So what we're going to do to fix that is install an easy, low-step shower with beautiful sliding glass doors. But this isn't the only shower we're working on. We're gonna go check out the next right now. So we're gonna replace this tub with another tub, but what we really wanna focus on is this up here, the drywall above the shower, because if moisture gets in there, mold can form, and that can be a huge problem. We're gonna fix that by bringing the walls all the way up to the ceiling. That will eliminate any concern of mold growing. So it's time for me to get out of here so the installers can get to work. We'll check back in when the job is done. So the installers just wrapped up, and this looks amazing. They took the walls all the way up to the ceiling, and they were able to replace that old tub with something new and modern. But this isn't the only project they worked on today. Let's go check out the other bathroom. In just one day, the West Shore Home team was able to complete 2 installations. And the crazy part is, we do this type of job every day. So if you're looking for a safer bathing solution, give us a call and you can get this great offer. Call in now because we're doing 18 months of no payments and no interest financing. That means you don't have to worry about paying anything on your project until well into 2024. Plus, we're taking 20% off all shower and bath projects. Call West Shore Home now.
Welcome back into Weather Extra, and the big story tonight's been these lovely sunset photos coming in, but a lovely view out there. And if you shared a picture with us, much thanks. We've had so many there on the First Alert Weather apps. This is from Beverly. Nice looking sunset from the front porch, and we have Kim sharing a looks like they're on the lake and perhaps out around Logan Martin, but a lovely view there coming in. I love the reflection there off the water as well. And very vivid glow from Regina and Clanton. So area wide there to the south, getting a lot of photos. There's one from Fred Turnipseed that we shared on the news earlier. Lena off of South Shades Crest Road sharing this one. April Miller in Summerton. Lovely view there from Summerton. A few breaks showing up in the clouds, but again, no wet weather expected out of this cloud cover tonight. April Miller, thank you. Another lovely view there from Summerton, Alabama. There's Carol, also another Clanton photo. A lot of photos coming in from Peach Country there in Chilton County tonight. Janie, Highland Golf Course. Wow, look at the reds and the oranges coming out there. I know the Georgia Bulldogs fans are probably enjoying that right this evening. Beautiful sunset in Sax. There's Linda sharing a lovely view there from Sax, Alabama, here in East Alabama. Nice pink glow, kind of a cotton candy sky there this evening. Jennifer in Pondville, that's in Bibb County. That is actually the Pondville area is where the old National Weather Service office was years ago, the old Centerville Brent radar. I remember growing up watching the weather here, you would see the local meteorologist would say, let's check in on the old Centerville Brent radar site. But I believe that old Weather Service site, you can still see that if if you travel there down through Centerville and over towards Hale County and Pondville. But lovely view. And how about Nectar, fire in the sky over Blount County? Ray sharing that photo. But I want to thank Ray and all the wonderful weather watchers out there. So many pictures like this when it's just a testament to how lovely, how beautiful the sky was this evening. I can really tell on those days. I need to have a meter here where we rate our sunset views. I think this will certainly rank right there at the top based on how many lovely photos that we've gotten out there for this evening. Oh, one more I've got to show you. This one came in on my Twitter feed a few moments ago. Look at this one from Tuscaloosa. Look at that glow over the Warrior River. But Jay Graham sharing that on my Twitter feed. But lovely weather app photos. Keep sending those in on the First Alert Weather app, and also on the First Alert Weather app you can watch Weather Extra. After the break, we're going beyond the 7-day forecast. I know we have a threat of storms on Thursday, but how about next week? We'll talk about that next after the break. Stay with us.
Every storm has a story, where it came from, where it's going, and the lives impacted in between. Where our story begins is with your First Alert, warning you well ahead of time so the chapter in between isn't filled with surprises. The largest team on your side, dedicated to telling the story that starts and ends with you. This is why we First Alert.
First Alert, we are tracking
In times like this,
we now have a tornado warning that's active.
having a way to see and hear what's happening on your phone,
The most intense part of this storm right now is tracking towards Shelby County.
that means everything.
Okay, you need to get in your safe place now. Stay there. We will let you know when this warning expires. Stay with us.
Download the First Alert Weather app today. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Mornings, they're yours. Where you start fresh, get your body moving, and tackle a new day. Our mornings are for you. Janice, Mike, Mickey, and Toy, starting early and staying with you all morning long. With more voices speaking to you where you are, and getting to the point with more First Alert weather and traffic from the source you trust. Always on your side. This is Good Day, Alabama.
Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt, a live look from Tower Cam. Temperature down to 47 degrees in Birmingham. Very dry setup at the moment. No rain expected, although we do have quite a few clouds moving in. It's high pressure at the moment, but that south wind starts to really kick in. You see that right there? That is going to be Wednesday, so we have more clouds becoming more breezy. We will enjoy a nice warm up on Wednesday, highs in the 60s, and you can see that next system that's approaching from the west direction. It's going to bring us a chance for strong thunderstorms here. It looks like you can see the storm fuel looks to ramp up here by the time we get to the 12th, and that's one of those ingredients there, that instability that could lead to a couple of strong to severe storms. But also notice as we go beyond the 7-day, we get out there into next week around the 18th, we're seeing that storm fuel make a return. So a system much like the one that we're dealing with on Thursday looks to return later next week. You can see there around the 19th, pretty good chance there. We could have some storms around, so that's what we're going to be talking about there in the next week. There's Thursday. It's a very fast-moving system, unlike the last. The good news is, with the kind of setup that I see for this Thursday, I'm not overly concerned about flooding. It's just that risk for some gusty winds, maybe 1 or 2 tornadoes out of that. That system moves on through, and we deal with a lot of systems like this. This is the more typical cold season severe setup that we see often as we start to warm up this time of the year, and hopefully we'll get through it without any warnings. But watch Thursday, and then let's take you into next week. And timing wise, and I was seeing this past couple of days, just looking at some of the long range data has been rather consistent in showing out around the 18th. You see that? the next system that could move in. So be ready there late next week. It looks like it's going to be a Thursday, Friday kind of setup here for the next couple of weeks with our next chances for rain and possibly severe storms. So we need to watch that. But again, our 7-day forecast as we wrap up here, we're looking at Thursday again, most of the wet weather. Big story for the weekend. It will be dry but colder, overnight lows back into the freezing range there by early Saturday and early on Sunday. And of course, we'll have the latest for you tonight. More updates and new data in your First Alert forecast. Join us at 9, 9:30, and 10, and also on the WBRC First Alert Weather app. Thank you so much.